house thoroughly.
Yes, but why?
That's a great many questions, Sophie.
I've earned that right.
You sure there's no other room in the chateau where anyone can hide? Or anything?
What thing?
One question at a time.
I've been housing it for many years. I know of no other room or area of the chateau.
They say he's afraid of gunfire.
Who? Her Frankenstein?
Not him.
Victor, what are you doing?
Only what tradition expects of me.
They're back.
Come on, give him a few minutes of sanity.
Sanity?
Do as I say.
No guests, no reception, police everywhere. Not my idea of a wedding night. Put me down, Victor. I'm not impressed.
Should I ring for Sophie?
What on earth for?
I thought you might want something to eat or drink.
No, nothing. Victor, now that we're married, won't you tell me what's been troubling you? You've been so distraught. When I speak to you, I'm not sure you hear what I'm saying. When I look at you, I know your thoughts are elsewhere.
Forgive me, Elizabeth. I have so much to be forgiven for.
Victor, you don't regret marrying me?
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what? Victor, you must tell me. You've lived these past months with some terrible private dread. I want to bring you happiness. I am Frau Frankenstein, wife of a brilliant young scientist. Whatever troubles you has to trouble me. I beg you, Victor, take me into your confidence. What's out there that frightens you?
Tonight, this very night, the man who will kill me will come through those doors.
What are you saying?
I know it sounds incredible, monstrous. All the same, it's true.
Who would want to kill you? Why?
I only ask that you remember your love for me when you hear my words.
Go on.
Do you remember when I returned from the university at Ingolstadt?
Of course. You are in such poor health. We were all so worried for you.
I didn't want to return. I wanted to find some icy glacier and build a funeral pyre. If not for myself, then for my deeds. I hadn't slept in days. My brain was on fire. I was consumed with guilt and fear, and that private dread you speak of. Victor! Victor! Are you in there? Victor! Oh, here you are. How are you, Henry? Question is, are you? Constant. My temper is almost violent. My mood varies between depression and melancholia.
Come, Victor, you're away from that gloomy university. What could be more pleasant than a holiday on the shores of Lake Geneva in one's own chateau?
Holiday? Call it a retreat, sanctuary, anything but a holiday. I appreciate your good spirits, Henry. I know you're trying to cheer me up. Can't be much fun for anyone to have me about like this.
You've had a slight breakdown, that's all. Understandable, considering the way you drive yourself. You know, for a young man, you take life far too seriously.
Life is serious, and what man does with life, even more so.
Have it your way, but there's no need to be pompous. Perhaps this will cheer you up. A new thesis in biochemistry.
That's your field, not mine.
But this work is by Albertus Magnus, Natural Philosophy and Chemical Persuasion. The book is quite fascinating. Magnus is your favorite professor.
He was.
You ought to read it. You haven't already purchased it.
No.
Good.
Peculiar that you should bring up his name.
How so?
I'm just finishing a letter to him.
Indeed.
I'm informing him that I do not intend to return to Ingolstadt.
You mean until you've gained your health?
I mean never.
Victor, is this because of your brother?
I confess, William's murder is not something I accept so easily. To live less than 10 years when life holds out so much promise, and then die at the hands of an unknown killer, seems to me the height of cosmic cruelty.
Cosmic cruelty? The lad was murdered for an expensive gold cross. Obviously by thieves the lowest kind. Vicious and unfeeling. A monster.
Victor, may I come in?
It's my mother. Please do not make any mention of William. She will live extremely well, but...
I understand.
Hold on, Mother. I'll unlock the door.
Always a pleasure, Frau Frankenstein.
I can't tell you what your visits mean to Victor. You, his best friend, have never deserted him.
Boys together, friends together, comrades always.
Did you hear that, Victor?
I have never doubted Henry's friendship, as I trust he will never doubt mine.
Ah, if you could only persuade him to get out and around. My son does nothing but lock himself here in the study, as if the sound of another human voice was more than he could bear.
You exaggerate, Mother.
No, Victor, I do not. He never sleeps. Sophie's at her wit's end trying to think of something that will appease his appetite. Elizabeth has become his devoted nurse. But I'm afraid my son is a bad patient. I do worry about you. The doctor says...
The doctor.
You shouldn't scoff like that, Victor. You're a scientific man yourself.
There is a world of difference between a doctor and a scientific man.
Well, if there is, I'm not aware of it. I only meant that you shouldn't insult him by your indifference. He has your best interests at heart. You know you can't go on the way you have. You must eat and rest.
Oh, stop it, Mother.
And where is Elizabeth this fine day?
She went to the flower market. I believe she could live her whole life there. But she was that way even as a child. She could tell you the name of any flower that bloomed. Victor, on the other hand, could tell you exactly what was inside of it, what made it grow.
Some would find that an ideal combination. The pragmatic and the romantic.
Yes. That's very good, Henry. Very good indeed.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Frau Frankenstein.
What is it, Sophie?
It's Ernst.
I'll see him outside.
No, Victor. Show him over, Sophie.
Perhaps it's we.
None. It's probably something quite routine about the investigation.
You shouldn't see him. You know how upset you get.
Victor, it is you who gets upset.
Back to General Hudson.
I'm sorry to intrude, Doctor.
You are always welcome in my house. You know, Ernst, of course.
Herr Claval? Victor?
You will stay for tea?
I'm afraid not.
Then this is a professional visit?
Yes.
Something about William's murder? Henry is a dear and trusted son of his family. You may speak freely, but...
As you wish. We have William's cross.
Who had it?
A girl by the name of Justine tried to sell in Geneva. Unfortunately for her, the buyer was one among the former.
A girl?
A bad sort. She travels as horse dealers, gypsies. Her kind would cut a throat for Josephine.
Please!
Unfortunate choice of words. Forgive me.
There can be no mistake.
They were encamped on the lakeshore the night of William's murder. We know your brother visited the encampment. He was seen there. It's a popular spot for little boys. The girl was seen talking to him, a mile across around the bench. That night, the gypsies broke camp and moved on.
Hardly seems sufficient to prove this girl guilty.
We have her on file. It's a sad record.
She has confessed.
Far from it. She denies any knowledge of the affliction.
If that is so, then how can you be so positive?
Some absurd story she made up to cover up her deed.
What story?
She claims a man gave her the cross.
Is that so extraordinary?
Ah, but this is no ordinary mortal. It was large and stitched together like a rag doll.
What?
She had the impudence to offer me this myth.
No.
Honestly, I heard them all. And a large man stitched together with a new one.
Are you all right?
Why did you have to bring this news?
It is my duty, I assure you. I had no idea what had set you in this matter.
My son has been under a doctor's care. He's not himself at all. Forgive him.
Get out!
Victor, get a hold of yourself.
Get out, I said!
I'll see you to the door, Ernst.
Thank you, Frau Frankenstein.
I wonder, Ernst, might I have the cross?
I'm afraid not. Evidence.
I understand.
When the case is closed, I'll see that it is returned.
Was that necessary? You know, if you go on this way, there's nothing ahead but disaster for you. You've got to take the doctor's advice.
Did you believe him?
The doctor?
No, not the doctor. Ernst, what he said about the girl.
I have no reason not to believe him.
He was large and stitched together like a rag doll.
The girl was lying.
Why, she...
It's as simple as that. A lie, nothing more.
I assure you, even simplicity can turn into something twisted and evil. Today's exhilaration can fade quickly into tomorrow's grief.
Can't you say a single sentence without decorating with crape?
The girl was not lying.
Be reasonable.
I tell you, the girl spoke the truth.
I will not stand here and listen to this raving.
Henry, if our friendship means anything at all, I ask you to stay.
On one happened to him during the time that he was gone? I want to know what it was, unless you're prepared to tell me of your affliction.
Yes, I intend to. I want to. I must. What I will tell you will chill the marrow of your mortal bones.
Let me be the judge of whether or not my mortal bones will freeze.
If I appear unsettled and half mad, there is a reason.
If you're referring to Ernst's visit, I can only comment that it is unjust to blame the messenger for the message.
You think that's why I cried out?
What else am I to think?
The secret of my arrest lies here, in these documents and papers. The recorded crimes of Victor Frankenstein. You think that whatever happened began at the university? You were wrong. It began behind that laboratory door. As a boy, science and biology consumed me, as it did you. Far more than the fever that now plagues my brain. I was more advanced in my studies than even you realize. The university merely simulated me to press on into the secret that has baffled men from the moment they first sucked breath. What secret? I often ask myself, from where does the principle of life proceed? A bold question. Yet we are always on the brink of discovering something new and strange and bold. Our cowardice or carelessness defeat us. We restrain our inquiries in fear of what we might yet discover. We fear the unknown and long to embrace it. I had one passion, and only one. And to do that, I first had to have recourse to death. Death? I became acquainted with the science of anatomy in a way that was zealous and accelerated. I observed the natural decay of the human body.
In the dissecting room of the university, you mean?
No, I do not mean in the dissecting room of the university.
What do you mean, then?
I mean that the charnel house became my haunt. I lived with the stench of decay in my nostrils. A church graveyard was not a holy place to me. It was only a receptacle of human bodies deprived of life.
I don't believe you.
Then you are a fool. I saw how the fine form of man was degraded and wasted. I studied until my senses no longer knew the hour, the day, the week. And then in the midst of my darkness, a sudden light broke in upon me. A light so brilliant, yet so simple, that while I became dizzy with the prospect of success, I was surprised that among so many men of genius, I alone, Victor Frankenstein, should be reserved to discover so astonishing a secret.
That again.
I ask for your friendship, not your skepticism.
You have both. Go on.
The stages of the discovery were both distinct and probable. Others could have discovered what I had, Albertus Magnus for one. But brilliant minds must match their gifts of genius with boldness and imagination, not be earthbound by the improbable. After many nights of incredible labor and fatigue, I succeeded in finding the cause of generation and life. I was capable of bestowing animation upon lifeless matter.
It's not possible, Victor.
You think not? You too are earthbound. When I found so astonishing a power placed within my hands, I hesitated a long time before I decided how to employ it.
And how did you?
I began the creation of a human being.
You did what?
In a solitary chamber at the top of my rooming house, I kept a workshop of filthy creation.
How can you create another human being?
With considerable dedication and a strong stomach. The charity hospital and the morgue furnished my materials. From one, I stole a leg. From another, I purchased a hand. The graveyard proved productive in direct proportion to the energy I was willing to expend in opening a grave.
No more, Victor. Enough.
I became nervous to a painful degree. The fall of a leaf startled me. I shunned everyone as if I were guilty of a crime. And then, as I collected the instruments of life around my table, I fell asleep across my cot, troubled by dreams.
I should think so. And that was the end of your experiment.
If only it could have been. I dreamt I saw the grave wounds crawling through my father's funeral shroud. I startled from my sleep in horror, and I beheld the life that I had created with these hands. outstretched as if the creature were imploring some aid. There, now you know.
I know what you told me.
You still don't understand?
What more can there be?
Ernst, William's murder, the gypsy girl. Think, Henry, think! Ah, but this man was no ordinary mortal. It was he, made from the bits and pieces of other men who murdered little William. He's found me. He followed me here to Geneva.
If what you say is true, then why would he do this? Why would he murder William? Why would he hate you? You gave him life. No, it's preposterous.
You must listen.
I've heard more than enough.
I'm not mad.
You will be if you're born this way.
Henry, do not desert me. Henry! 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 Do you still doubt me? See for yourself. Stitched together like a demon from hell. Here, standing before you is the proof of my infamy.
God help you, Victor. God help us all.
Frankenstein, help me.
And to the best of your knowledge, you have no adverse reaction to the anesthetic? No paralysis of any kind?
No.
I'm rather amazed about the eyelids. Moist, lubricated by circulating tears. And the cornea, clear and transparent. The membrane functions normally. Stand up, please. Run in place. Slowly. Excellent. You may be seated. I want to test the strength of your grip. I would say the end results are not yet cosmetically satisfactory. And there is a decided tendency towards hypothyroidism. But in all other respects, you are remarkable. I would have thought if such an experiment succeeded, the end result would be a chronic invalid. I was wrong for doubting Victor.
Is that all I am?
How do you mean?
An experiment.
Far more than an experiment, my strange friend. You offer hope for an extended lifespan. You are living proof that worn-out parts can be replaced.
I am a monster, a living thing that is dead. I am alone, lonely. All men shun Frankenstein's creation.
Why shouldn't they, murderer?
Did you sleep at all?
I never sleep. Not anymore. All I do is dream of horrors.
This is no horror. Whatever your technique, you have opened a special field of surgical study.
If one is a sadistic vivisectionist.
He has the power of locomotion, complete mastery of speech, reasoning, and deduction. His parts will not wear out.
A living machine.
Yes, if you will.
Beware, Henry. The excitement in your voice betrays you. You've caught my fever.
No extra fingers. No missing cartilage. Blood pulsing through his veins as it does through yours and mine.
Blood of dead men.
This is no monster. You have engineered a finely tooled machine powered by an intricate network of muscles and tendons. The grafting is amateurish and repulsive, but it's the fight me.
You've forgotten something.
I should wonder.
Theirs is the hideous thing that has come to kill me.
That is no longer true.
I curse the day I gave you life.
I expected this reception. All men hate the wretched. How I must be hated then. I am more miserable than all living things. I did not always hate you, Victor Frankenstein. On the night you brought me to life, I ran from your rooms believing that the world would welcome me. I thought myself no different than others. I watched you sleeping and saw no great dissimilarity between us.
That's disgusting.
No, it is not. You brought him into existence. It's perfectly natural for him to think that you and he are both of a kind.
Both of a kind.
I am one of no kind, an outcast. Wherever I showed my face, people ran in terror and repulsion. I had no friend. In the winter I froze, sleeping in the hills. In the summer I hid in the woods.
Were you harmed in any way? Physically, I mean.
Hunters came into the woods, searching for game. I had never seen a gun before nor heard it sound. It frightened me and I ran, but they followed after. A great pain tore into me. I saw my blood for the first time. Sickened me.
You hear that, Victor? He felt pain. He knows fear.
As I do, as you should. Go from this house. Leave me.
Have I not suffered enough? Now you seek to increase my misery.
I curse the day I gave you life. Is that why you sought me out? Is that why you murdered a defenseless boy?
I did not murder him, Frankenstein. You did.
You dare say that to me?
A creature such as I must bear. I saw a child coming toward me. Suddenly, an idea seized me that this little creature had lived too short a time to understand the horror of deformity. I thought if I could educate him before others imparted their prejudice, I would not be alone. For of all curses, that is the one I loathe above the others.
But why murder?
I had no such intention at first. I seized him as he passed, and as soon as he beheld my form, he uttered a shrill cry. "Let me go!" he screamed. "Monster, ugly wretch! Let me go, or I will tell Victor. He will punish you. My brother Victor Frankenstein will punish you."
Poor William.
I swelled with hellish triumph. I thought, my enemy is not invulnerable. This death will carry despair to him, and 1,000 other miseries shall torment and destroy him. Frankenstein will suffer as I have suffered. Have you suffered, Frankenstein?
More than I would have thought possible.
Then I am satisfied. You have created me, but your work is not finished.
It is finished.
You have created me. You must destroy me.
What?
We are in accord, at last.
Will you do it?
Yes, Victor.
When?
Tonight, Victor, protect. Stay in there until I'm ready. Make no sound.
Remember this. My agony is greater than yours.
No one ever goes in there but we stay.
You cannot be serious about his request.
But I am. He has brought me my salvation.
But it would be murder.
You cannot murder a walking inventory of borrowed human parts.
That's absurd. You know it.
Call it anything you like. Execution, a balancing of the scales, retribution, if you will. There is blood on my hands for having created him.
And you think by destroying him you can just wash away that blood? Is that it?
It's my only hope.
Then I appeal to you as a man of science. I do not speak now as a dear friend. I speak to you as another who is dedicated in pushing back the barriers of ignorance.
Barriers? I crumbled one barrier and look at the result.
I have looked, and what I have found is both miraculous and marvelous. This creature is not at fault. He's an innocent thrust into a world that has no
do not say a thing that I haven't said to myself 100 times before. You speak of an innocent, here is your innocent, my young brother William.
Be sensible. I speak to your intellect, not your emotion.
Down your intellect.
And down your emotion.
Victor! Victor!
It's my mother. Please, I'll return this evening. I'll need your assistance.
Henry, you're so early?
I'm afraid I've never left.
I was counting on you to help Victor rest and look at this. It's as if you were boys again, up all night with your studies and your biochemistry test tubes. You will stay for breakfast.
Sleep at this moment is more appealing than nourishment.
I shall be angry with you if you're encouraged with your many work. It would be quite destructive.
I agree with you. If you'll excuse me, it's a lovely day outside. I have a great deal to think about. I'll enjoy the walk home. Until then, Victor, Frau Frankenstein.
If you could only see your eyes. I can count every tiny vein.
I would like to be alone, Mother.
No, Victor. I have given in to your whims and ways far too often. Elizabeth is taking you to the city. She has shopping to do.
Shopping? You think that interests me?
No, the shopping will bore you, but Elizabeth's company will be pleasant. Won't it? Ah, Sophie. Good, good. Put the tray on Victor's desk.
I'm not hungry.
And I will insist that you lock Sophie in here to clean.
I haven't been here so long, Herr Frankenstein. Everything is covered with dust. It's not happy to read dust.
Is that your medical opinion?
There is no need to be rude.
I have asked that you respect my wishes. Do not enter unless the door is unlocked.
You lock Henry in here at will.
That is another matter.
Neither Sophie, Elizabeth, or I have ever bothered you about your laboratory. Although at times the smells have been unbearable. You're not being fair. Other people do come and go into the study. Let Sophie clean.
If only all matters could be reduced to such elements. To eat a breakfast, to clean a room, to go shopping.
Sophie has a surprise for you. Josh is there. Where's the sweet and Herr Frankenstein?
Leave the tray.
Sophie, bring me the strawberries. Victor, eat the strawberries! Is that so amusing?
Mother, you're so good, so comforting. Strawberries, strawberries.
Oh, I'm sorry I wasn't here a moment earlier. You know I like the chocolate next.
It's not that at all. It's just that I was struck by the incongruity in my dark mood and my mother's dish of strawberries.
They're perfectly good strawberries, sir. The man that sold them to me is reliable. I've never had any complaints about his prices.
I'm sure you haven't. Delicious.
Come along, Sophie. We'll leave them alone. And I will insist that you allow Sophie in here to clean.
Yes, yes.
When, dear?
Soon.
I put the bug bait on the tree myself. Did you notice the petals?
No. What is the flower?
There isn't any. I just wanted to see if you'd notice.
I've been insensitive, haven't I?
Oh, I understand. No one here but solicitous woman who would smother you with trivialities and such strawberries.
Most men would find that an enviable condition.
I can't make up my mind about this veil. I thought we might return it to the time and cut up they had.
Not a subtle hint.
Victor, listen to me. I don't pretend I'm not disturbed by your strange moods and temperament. You're different from other men. True. Perhaps that's the very quality that attracts me. We've grown up together, and I have always loved you. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're complex and difficult. I'm not blind to that. But Victor, don't close your heart to me. Don't put your love on me.
And you'll cook for me and comfort me when others might turn against me?
Don't make light of such things, Victor. They count for something. And yes, I would do all those things. Gladly.
Then a wife is truly a wonderful thing.
Let me be wonderful for you, Victor. I have never loved anyone else. I never shall. You will never be alone. I promise you that.
Dear Elizabeth.
Come along now. Let's have a morning together. We'll visit the flower market.
My dark moods will soon be at an end, and I promise you that, Elizabeth. Yes, by all means, the flower market. Totally severed. Complete reversal. Rotation. Completely sever the arm. Leg. No suturing required. Complete reversal of transplantation. And no attempt to minimize loss of blood to the brain tissue. Spinal column compressed. Yes.
Frankenstein.
I have asked that you stay out of sight. I shan't be long. I'm waiting for Henry. I'll need his assistance.
How will you do it?
I put you together piece by piece. Your whole anatomical structure is a patchwork of transplanted blood vessels, tissues, bones. I shall simply reverse the process. You shall cease to exist, piece by piece. You needn't worry. I'll attack the brain. You'll feel nothing.
And the pieces?
The disposal of pieces is not to concern a surgery. Still, if you must know.
Yes. Tell me.
Several options. Quicklime, acid, burial.
None of those, Frankenstein.
You had something else in mind?
I will live.
No, you will not live. Once the surgery is finished, you'll be erased from this earth.
I will live, Frankenstein.
What the devil do you mean?
I have a passion which you alone can gratify.
I have vowed to grant you death. Beyond that, I owe you nothing.
My life begins anew.
No, it does not. Your agony ends, and my life begins anew.
My life begins anew, Frankenstein.
What do you mean?
We will not part until you grant me my wish.
You wish for more than death?
Yes, more than death. Life. This time, not for me, but for another.
Another?
Men will not associate with me, but one as deformed and horrible as myself would not deny herself to me. My companion must be of the same species and has the same defects as I.
No such creature exists.
You must create her.
I thought you sought oblivion.
What I ask is reasonable and moderate.
Reasonable?
I demand one of another sex, but as hideous as myself. I demand a bride for Frankenstein's creature.
You demand? You have no right to demand anything from me.
If you consent, neither you nor any other human being shall ever see us again.
I won't listen.
You must create a female for me whom with I can live in companionship. This alone you can do, and I demand it as a right which you must not refuse.
I do refuse.
Do not incite my anger.
I do not fear your anger, and no torture shall ever extort a consent from me.
Is what I ask so difficult?
For me, it is an impossibility. You asked me to create another like yourself.
I do.
Two whose joint wickedness might desolate the world.
We will harm no living thing.
How did you come by this preposterous idea?
by listening to one who loves you.
So you were listening at the door when I spoke with Elizabeth.
Her words were gentle.
I have agreed to give you death. Beyond that, I owe you nothing.
Reconsider.
Never.
You are wrong. And instead of threatening, I am content to reason with you.
You are malicious.
I am malicious because I am miserable. You, my creator, would tear me to pieces and triumph. Remember that. And tell me why I should respect man more than he respects me. Shall I respect man when he condemns me? Let him live with me in the interchange of kindness. And instead of injury, I would bestow every benefit upon him with tears of gratitude and his acceptance. Why cannot that be, Frankenstein?
Human sensibilities forbid it.
Do as I ask. If I cannot inspire, I will cause fear, and chiefly toward you, my enemy.
There, your true nature. Low, threatening, wicked. Your bride would be a monster too.
It is true. We shall be monsters, cut off from all the world. But on that account, we shall be more attached to one another.
What happiness could there be in your lives?
Our lives will not be happy, but they will be harmless and free from the misery I now feel. My Creator, let me feel gratitude toward you for one benefit. Let me see that I accept the sympathy of some existing thing. I do not ask of you, Frankenstein. I beg of you.
Perhaps I do owe you some measure of happiness.
We will go into the forest or some jungle. My food is not that of man. I do not destroy animals to glut my appetite. Acorns and berries shall sustain us.
The noble savage.
Do not mock me.
Do not tempt me.
We will make our beds of dried leaves. The sun will shine on us as man. Pitiless as you have been toward me, I now see compassion in your eyes.
Why did you have to return?
I swear to you, by the earth which I inhabit and by you that created me, with the companion you bestow, I will leave the neighborhood of man forever.
Because you will have a bride?
Because I will have sympathy.
Forgive me.
It is too late for your forgiveness. Grant me my wish. My life will flow quietly away. And on my dying moments, when that time comes, I will not curse my Maker.
Forgive me for having created you. As your maker, perhaps I do owe you some amount of sympathy.
We shall be things of whose existence everyone shall be ignorant. The love of another will destroy the cause of my crimes. Pity me, Victor Frankenstein. Pity me.
I am here as you requested, calling to dissuade you.
Always the man of science, eh, Henry?
In this matter, yes.
You can never be as persuasive as my creature.
You look distant, Victor. What are you thinking?
Paradise lost.
Paradise?
The words of Milton. Did I request thee, Maker, to mold me from my clay, man? Did I solicit thee from darkness to promote me?
You have given him life, Victor. Now you want to take it away from him.
The creature has had second thoughts.
What do you mean?
Death is no longer to be its destination.
He wants to live?
More than that.
Surely that's enough.
He asks that I create from a bride. Yes, a bride.
He's more human than I realized.
A wretched companion to share his loneliness.
But it would be unthinkable.
now Henry Clerval has second thoughts. Yet it was Henry Clerval who thought to dissuade me.
Destroying what is already in existence. I cannot condone murder in any form. But to create a second creature is not at all the same.
Test your fire, Henry. Put your scientific zeal to the test. You have marveled at my genius. You were swept up in this bold experiment. You held staunch while I wavered.
For the possibilities the experiment offered.
I cannot do it alone. A second time would be impossible. I must have another with me. The creature has promised that he will live apart from man, quietly, without maliciousness.
And if you refuse?
The creature will become a hound of hell, and I will be its prey. Henry, let us give what the creature asks. I cannot destroy it. Not now, for its appeal was too sincere, springing from its cursed heart.
I don't know.
I can compensate for the evil of the first by the creation of a gentler second.
Perhaps.
Henry, are you not dedicated to pushing back the barriers of ignorance?
Where are you going?
The church graveyard.
Graveyard?
It will be my warehouse of spare parts. My salvation, my absolution. I offer you a glimpse of the eternal. The choice is yours.
I accept.
Splendid. We'll get the shovels from the greenhouse. Come along, Henry.
Not too late, am I?
I expected you an hour ago.
Couldn't be helped. Any difficulties?
None beyond what we already know. We'll need to increase the voltage.
How's he behaving?
More like an expected father than an expecting groom.
Understandable.
He sits in the corner of the laboratory, like a huge whipped dog. If I touch a switch, his eyes flick to the spot.
I've noticed that.
When I rewire the apparatus, he takes careful note of how it's done.
Testimony to extraordinary skills, Victor.
Testimony to his craftiness. You've noticed his gift of mimicry. Oh, he watches you too, Henry. A little while ago, I noticed he was unusually quiet.
And?
He was studying your notes.
My notes?
I think it'd be wise if you devise some code or other.
If you say so.
It's both touching and horrible to watch him. Whenever I enter the laboratory, he's by the surgical table.
He never touches anything.
Yet he knows every molecule of his bride-to-be.
He's never given me a bit of trouble. Undoubtedly, he accepts me as some sort of love friendship. Nothing more.
Don't be too sure, Henry. You're his champion. He's not likely to forget that.
I wonder, Victor, where we'd be at this point in our lives if the creature you had created had been beautiful instead of ugly.
Don't mistake me for some kind of moral idiot.
You know I don't.
Leave speculations of that sort to philosophy. I thought, at one time, a new species would bless me as its creator in sort. Many excellent beings would owe their nature to me.
In one case at least, that is true.
That creature is far from excellent, and nowhere near happy.
But his bride may beyond words. You know that, Victor. Why do you ask?
You feel no animosity towards him?
None, and none to his bride.
Because you're a scientist?
Why else?
You wear your coat of arms. You wear your badge of scientific inquiry like a coat of arms. Take care it doesn't pierce.
How leave gloomy speculations to you, Victor. You're a master.
I suppose. Still, I can't forget so easily. When I first saw his terrible eyes staring upon me in my sleep, I knew I'd fallen from the height of a supreme artificer to what? The terror of a child of earth.
He is your responsibility, Victor. Accept that.
I ran from my responsibility once, and look at the result.
Surely you won't do it a second time. We've come too far for such thoughts. I believe him. He wants what he says he wants. He'll never harm another human being.
How can we be sure? How do I know if he'll return, more demanding, stronger than ever before?
You'll chirp when you see what I brought. You don't give yourself enough credit. The safety methods in future surgery that I've learned at your side will help thousands of people. There's a long list of diseases for which, of vital organs for which a healthy transplant would be curative.
What have you there?
You'll see. Imagine the mercy of replacing a worn-out lung by one that is vital and functioning.
In other words, my evil shall henceforth become my good?
Think of yourself less a modern Prometheus and more of a humanitarian.
Where'd you get this one?
City morgue.
Let me have it. How is it? All the other feet showed signs of congenital defects. Maybe. We can't be too sure. We must give her skin, tendons, muscles, blood vessels, and tissues that are capable of sustaining sensation and accomplishing motion. She couldn't have been dead for long. Good. Good.
She was young, a derelict.
Any questions?
The morekeeper got his price.
I want to test it for elasticity. Victor, I warned you to stay out of sight.
How much longer?
All in good time.
When?
When I decide the time is right.
Will you name her or will he?
You can call her whatever you like.
You must hurry.
Must? Is that a word you use to your creator?
Remember, Frankenstein, I am your creature. I ought to be your Adam.
I see you more as a fallen angel.
We're doing as you requested.
What more can you want?
Haste!
Victor! Victor!
Stay back, out of sight, and quiet.
Haste!
I'll make it through our test.
Henry, take this with you.
Charles, with me.
Victor!
Why, you should prefer to sleep in the laboratory, something I'll never understand.
The cot is comfortable.
I don't even know why I bother to be concerned. You ignore my advice on all things.
I'm preoccupied. Is that so difficult to understand?
I thought you returned from Ingolstadt because you were exhausted.
I was.
And now?
I'm still exhausted. But now the exhaustion is of a different sort.
And what does that supposed to mean? Exhaustion is of a different sort.
I must ask that you lead me to my work.
And what is that work, Victor?
Nothing that could possibly interest you.
Let me be the judge.
No!
What is it? There is something very wrong, Victor. Whatever it is you're up to, it frightens me.
Nothing. Nothing to be concerned about. You know how I am about my work.
Victor, you are the man of this household, but I can feel you moving further and further away from me. I don't speak much about your brother. I try not to. It was a terrible sorrow when your father died, but I had Victor, and I had my William. And cruelly, William was taken from me. You are the only flesh and blood I have left.
Forgive me for any pain I've caused.
You act so unsettled, angry. Elizabeth worries too. She's in love with you. Why do you not marry her?
I love Elizabeth tenderly and sincerely.
Then prove it. Why do you delay?
I've never known anyone that excited my warmest admiration as Elizabeth does.
One might say the same thing about a piece of porcelain.
I mean my words.
I confess, my son, I have always looked forward to your marriage. It would give me strength in my declining years.
Declining years? You're still a young woman.
You and Elizabeth always seem attached to one another from your earliest childhood. You studied together and always seem suited to one another.
What is it you're trying to say?
I fear, perhaps, you regard her as a sister and have no wish that she may become your wife, and this brings you pain. Perhaps you have found another whom you love, and feel bound in honor to marry Elizabeth, and this brings you pain. There, that is what I fear. That and whatever lies behind that laboratory door.
I vow to you, my future hopes are entirely bound up with Elizabeth.
If that is so, then marry quickly, and all this sullenness, which has taken so strong a hold of your mind, will dissipate itself.
Victor, it won't do after all. It bruises too easily. Forgive me, Frau Frankenstein.
What is it you have in the wrapping paper?
An idle experiment.
With bruises?
It would be of no interest.
And I think it would be best if we went into town to exchange it for one more suitable.
Yes. Good idea. I'll get my coat.
Take Elizabeth if you're going into town. She'd enjoy the walk.
This is not a shopping trip. At least not the kind Elizabeth would appreciate.
If you say so.
Trust me.
I try.
I'm ready.
Good. Then we're off.
Will you be back for lunch?
Depends on our trip into town.
You're the despair of Sophie.
And of you, and of Elizabeth, and of myself. But soon, all that will pass. I promise you that.
I pray for it. Enjoy the day.
Remember, trust me.
Oh dear.
Oh, I thought I'd find Victor here.
No, he and Henry had to go into town. They had to exchange something.
What?
When it comes to Victor's and Henry's experiments, I think it's better not to inquire too closely. Many years ago, I entered that room, and I was met by a small army of leaping frogs. And there were some peculiar furry things in cages. I've never been back.
That does sound like Victor. Even little William finds unique. I'm sorry. I didn't think.
I understand. It happens to me all the time. When I'm alone, mostly. Sophie, good. Be kind enough to go into the cellar.
The cellar?
My husband's carpentry table. You'll find an old letterbox there. Bring it here.
Yes, Frau Frankenstein.
She doesn't like to go down there. She's afraid of spiders.
Oh, I share her phobia.
Elizabeth, you know my feelings towards you. When my late husband and I took you into our house, you were a beautiful child, abandoned and unloved.
No, not unloved. You took me to your heart.
And there is no doubt in my mind that you love Victor.
Nor in my mind.
You're good, gentle, understanding.
You make such virtues sound like liability.
I don't mean to. Only, I think there's a great danger in being sisterly.
You think Victor looks upon me as a sister?
He will always look upon you unless you give him greater cause to look upon you as a wife. Unlike most women, you'll have to keep it with science. With a man like Victor, science can be a formidable rival.
If science is to be my rival, I fear I will always come in second best.
You understand him as I do, but understanding Victor is not enough. Set your mind to your marriage and let nothing stop you. Don't wait for Victor to see his folly. Marry him quickly. That is the only way. Quick, decisive, total victory.
You should have been a matchmaker.
That is exactly what I'm trying to do. Your marriage to my son will be my happiest moment. Go. They couldn't have gotten far. Run if you have to. If they suggest you're intruding, then intrude. Make his business do, Elizabeth. Do as I say.
But Victor will want to be about his business.
Go, Elizabeth. Do as I say.
But I've never forced myself on Victor.
Exactly. Remember, quick, decisive,
Total victory.
bravo!
Is this what you wanted?
Yes.
It's awfully dusty.
Close the drapes into the garden and draw the door.
The delivery man will hear again. There's a package in the hallway addressed to your son.
Who's it from?
Some chemical shop in Zurich. I think it's last to me.
You can go. I'll call you if I need you for anything.
Are you all right, Frau Frankenstein?
Yes, yes, do as I say, and go about your business. And close the drapes on your way out. Oh, dear.
No! No! Go back! Go back!
Get away from me!
Do not see me. Do not scream.
Sophie! Let me be, please! Sophie!
I meant you no harm. No harm. Forgive the creature.
Nardoni!
The carriage is turning into the drive.
Nasty weather for a funeral.
Nasty weather for anything.
How is it you didn't go to the cemetery, Sophie?
Oh, I couldn't. I've only been to one funeral in my life. A school friend. I've never forgotten it. I couldn't bear the thought of going through that with anyone ever again. I'd rather remember Frau Frankenstein the way she was.
I understand. You found her here?
Yes. She cried for me when I came. She was sprawled out on the floor, her hand to her heart, and her face the color of ash.
I wasn't aware that she had a weak heart.
So was everyone else, but that would be like her. She was never a complainer.
Spine like whalebone, she held up like a president during the awful business with Will William.
In front of people, yes. Though she cried herself to sleep many nights ago.
Still, the attack came on sudden, didn't it?
I went to the cellar to get the metal box and the key.
Keys?
She wanted them for something. I found them on the floor.
And what became of them?
I don't know. Sir Frankenstein took them, I think.
It's been a strange time. Would you believe there are ghouls at work?
Ghouls? What kind of gold?
How many kinds are there? Several graves have been broken into recently.
Oh, that's horrible. Stealing jewelry, I suppose.
No, that I could understand. The ghouls did not take any jewelry, at least not in one case.
What did they take?
A foot.
Oh,
I imagine Victor had taken them to death of his mother quite hard. Are you alright?
I will be, I think.
Didn't mean for my story to upset you.
Herr Frankenstein hasn't spoken a word in 2 days. And he worked so hard. Him and Herr Claval.
Work?
The laboratory.
And what is their project?
Oh, I wouldn't know. No one is permitted in there. It's the only room in the chateau that belongs to Herr Frankenstein alone. I don't know how they managed to get all the machinery in.
Machinery? What kind of machinery?
Wires, rods, an electric bulb, things like that. I don't know such matters.
And you say secretly what he's doing?
Oh yes, it's his way. Once he gets involved in his work, he's like a machine himself.
Still, he can't do his health any good. Odd, this door is locked from the outside.
He refuses to take care of himself. Eats almost nothing.
When I last saw him, I had the impression he was on the verge of collapse. He seemed exhausted.
That hasn't changed, I'm afraid.
Victor, his death of his mother and his brother murdered. I was fond of Victor's mother, a fine woman.
Yes, sir. Here, Inspector General.
Allow me to extend my deepest sympathy, Frau. Victor?
Shall I make some tea?
Please do, Sophie. We're all chilled. So dark, so cold out.
I'll make some biscuits too.
Oh, you might take the umbrellas and dry them out in the kitchen.
I haven't had a light dry them out in the hallway. Poor Frau Frankenstein.
Now, Sophie.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I can't believe that she's gone. I can't.
None of us can. Pull yourself together and go along to the kitchen now.
Yes, Fraulein. She won't be long.
She's taken it hard. Sophie was so devoted. I know what she feels. I can't get used to the idea myself. It doesn't seem possible. So unreal. Alive and vibrant one moment, gone the next.
Sudden heart failure, not uncommon.
I leave the medical reasons to you, Henry. There is no comfort in them for me. I shall always remember her as the dearest, kindest woman I have ever known.
I'll need your strength, Elizabeth.
And you shall have it, Victor. The memory of your mother sustains me.
This is most kind of you, Ernst, to stop by. Actually, I'm here for 2 reasons. 2?
The first, as you know, my sympathy.
Yes. And the second, well, the girl. What girl?
Justine.
You don't mean that gypsy girl.
I do.
What about her?
Naturally, I denied her request. But since we're transporting her to the prison, and the wagon had to come this way, I thought...
You thought what?
Her hanging is scheduled within the week. A last request, you might say.
You want me to see her in here?
That's outrageous.
You could come visit her at the prison, but it's a forbidden place. I thought this would be more convenient.
Perhaps Victor does not wish to have a girl in his home, or to visit her in prison. You come here because of her request on this day of all days?
If I've offended, I'm terribly sorry. I'll go along with my journey without further interruptions.
Why does she want to see me?
I don't know. She's asked me to meet me many times.
I'll see her.
Victor,
Do you think that's wise?
Victor, I protest.
I will see the girl.
She's an interesting case.
You're most interesting, I imagine.
Not really. There's been a rash of grave robberies lately.
Oh.
I'm afraid I've done it again. I'm not what you call a sensitive man.
You expect an argument on that point?
The wagon's on the side road. I'll bring her myself. May I go through the garden?
What?
The garden. Would that be all right?
Certainly.
The Inspector General is a lout.
He means well.
There's absolutely no excuse to bring this girl here.
He's only trying to do his duty.
Duty?
Henry, what's come over you?
I'm upset. Forgive my outburst.
Shouting won't help any of us.
I just don't think it's wise to see the girl.
I want to see her.
I'll ask if I can excuse him. Victor?
You must lie down. Rest.
I'll try.
Mad for you to see this girl. Poor thing. She's a dinosaur. Ernst said so himself.
I was referring to Elizabeth. When no one is looking, she'll cry. Like my mother. That's why she's gone up to her room.
She's gone to her room to avoid seeing this Justine.
Did you notice Elizabeth at the graveside? Standing straight, strong, as if she were telling my dear mother to rest easy, and she were here to carry on.
First time I've heard you wax sentimental.
First time I felt sentimental.
You've taken it all remarkably well.
Have I?
I admire you for it.
You think that because I haven't cried out, I felt nothing?
I didn't mean to imply that.
My unseen tears are angry feelings. Birth, life, death, stitched together without a seam. If that thing had never been born, my mother would be with us now.
Don't start that again.
Who is responsible, Henry? I am. I am.
Whatever could have possessed her to go into the laboratory?
Curiosity, a desire to discover. We of all people should understand that. Can she ever forgive me?
I'm sure she does.
And the creature, the monster, what does he think of? My pain? No, he only thinks of his bride. He says, the sooner she is finished, the sooner I am out of your life. Work faster and avoid future misfortune.
Perhaps you should heed those words.
He has no more feeling for my mother's death than I would have for a dying flea. He's a thing of stone.
He's right. The sooner we get to work, the sooner this is all ended.
I wonder at you, Henry, more and more. From your honest scientific inquiry has come a mirage of myself. Do you not fear him now? You do fear him.
No trouble, Richard.
Be quick!
I was afraid you wouldn't see me. You must believe me, Herr Frankenstein. No one else will. That's why I've come here today. I wanted to see your mother, but I hear she too is dead. And for that, I'm sorry and sorry again.
I am not your Frankenstein. That is he.
No one will believe my story.
And if I did?
Do not make fun of me, sir.
Do not, I assure you.
There was a man, a terrible man, with great stitches across his face. I screamed when I saw him, and he held up the cross. It was as though he was giving me something to stop my screaming.
And of course he said nothing?
No, nothing. Once I held the cross in my hand, he turned and ran into the woods.
Naturally, with impulse, strike camp, go into the city, and attempt to sell the gold cross.
Let her tell it in her own words, Inspector General.
I wanted no part of that cross.
You could have thrown it away.
No profit in that. Sorry.
You're certain he said nothing to you?
I asked her.
He made no attempt to harm you. That's correct. Isn't it?
Then you do believe me?
First sort knows how to play with emotion. Come along, you've had your visit.
Wait, when will you be hanged?
I have only a few more days of life. There's no hope for me. The insides of jails and prisons are familiar to me, sir. I've known them as long as I can remember. I was born in a prison. My mother died in one.
Bad blood.
My blood is as good as yours and better than most.
Mind your tongue!
I have come here, sir, knowing that my life is to be a short one. But as wicked as some may think I am, and I must admit I have done some things that I am ashamed of, I have some decency. Before my maker and before you, Victor Frankenstein, I am innocent. Look into my face, into my eyes, into my soul, and tell me if what you see is murder.
Into your face, into your eyes, into your soul. What do I see? Yes. I see murder, murder, murder!
Get her out of here.
Wait! It's the truth! I didn't kill anyone! You must believe me! Someone must believe me! Have pity! Pity!
What I get for being soft-hearted. Come along, you've had your visit. Leave the adjustments in their business.
I am innocent!
Are you all right?
You still don't see the ugliness of it? The cruel shame? Now another will die because of the creature.
Circumstances.
She cried pity, asking for life. So did he. His words have come back to haunt me.
My notes are almost complete. Let's move quickly, without thinking. Pushed by the knowledge that some good will come of all this.
You'll let him go, escape, knowing him to be destructive and wrathful?
Only because man has made it so. Let them go and find whatever evil will have them.
No.
What?
I said no.
What do you mean?
You haven't lived with him as I have, sensing his unspoken questions, knowing, always knowing, that if ever he were to gain the upper hand, he wouldn't hesitate to use it. Listening at the door again?
Yes,
Did you hear the girl?
I remember her.
Now another will die because of you.
You had only to point to the laboratory door, and the girl would have gone free. I remained quiet, but so did you.
Victor, once we've finished with our task, we'll see what can be done about the girl.
What can be done?
I don't know, but we'll think of something.
So simple, so easy. We'll think of something, and if we don't,
I suggest we continue our work.
I know I cannot. I no longer have the strength. Henry, I advise you to seek happiness and tranquility. Avoid ambition.
You have no right to say that. Just because you've been blasted by your own, there's no reason to assume another may not succeed.
I will not continue.
I can make you so wretched that the light of day will be hateful to you.
There, Henry! Did you hear the tone of those words? Low, threatening, wicked. Your victim can be your victimizer very easily. Oh, he's sly and clever and quick. He can stroke and argue and persuade. But if the winds turn against the creature, how quickly the devil in the monster shines out.
Keep your vow. Create for me a bride. Shall each man find a wife for his bosom, and each beast have his mate, and I be alone? Are you to be happy while I wallow in despair?
How can I be happy? How can I be content when all the horror of my misguided zeal stands before me, threatening and evil?
Calm down, Victor. Both of you.
Silence! You can blast my other passions, but take care. Revenge will remain.
So be it!
Victor, no! Victor!
I will kill you, Frankenstein!
Victor, no! No! Victor!
I will kill!
Let me talk to him. Let me persuade him.
Kill him!
Listen to me, I beg of you. Listen!
Kill! Wife! Companion! Friend! No!
Finish. Ended.
For this you will pay even more.
Don't poison the air with your malice.
You will pay.
Leave me. Henry! Dead. Henry too. Dead.
I know, Frankenstein, but remember, I will be with you on your wedding night.
I shall be with you on your wedding night. On your wedding night. afraid.
Of what I would think?
And of what you would say. 1,000 other fears, too. But most of all, you would judge me mad.
What torture it must have been for you.
You can never know.
Poor darling.
Don't waste sympathy on me. If only I'd been content to search for the Philosopher's Stone, for the elixir of life, our wedding wouldn't be like this.
He hates you so much he will kill you on this night of all nights.
What better night to destroy his maker?
It'll never come to pass.
I have denied him his bride, and now he will deny me my life.
Do you recall the Ancient Mariner?
Coleridge? We read it one summer.
Yes. Like one who on a lonely road doth walk in fear and dread, and having once turned round, walks on and turns no more his head.
Because he know a frightful fiend doth close behind him tread. Ernst has the chateau surrounded.
Then you're safe.
Perhaps.
They'll see him if he comes close to the house.
I hope so.
Victor, you must always trust me. Never keep anything from me.
If I live through this night,
Never, never say that again.
do you realize that if he does kill me, he will have succeeded in destroying the house of Frankenstein?
I assure you, Victor, the creature will not elude my neck. I have dozens of men staked around the chateau, with shotguns I would bring down charging my nostrils.
You do not know him as I do. He's brilliant in his strategies.
I flatter myself that I too have considerable skills in that direction.
Perhaps he won't show up.
Please consider that. For his sake, it'd be better if he did. In my point of view, it would give me considerable pleasure to either destroy him or chain him to the walls of a madhouse, an asylum for the criminally insane.
And the gypsy girl?
We have not released her yet. No telling what story she carries.
But she will go free.
All in good time.
You see, Victor, you have nothing to fear.
Stay in the house. Don't venture outside under any circumstances. I must insist on that.
You have our word.
Can I get you anything from Frankenstein? Frau Frankenstein? How odd that sounds. My married name. No, Sophie, thank you, nothing. You might draw the drapes on your way out, please. It's so chilly in here.
You know, I was thinking something quite horrible. Yet, it may have ended for the good.
You are thinking of Henry.
Yes. I don't think anything but death would stop this quest. I injected him as surely as if I had infected him with some strange and forbidden venom. Odd that I have survived, and he has not.
I shan't listen to any more of this. We will get you tonight, and tomorrow we will make plans for travel. Greece would be lovely this time of year. Maybe Italy.
I still have a few things I must do.
When?
Now, in the laboratory.
You can't be serious.
I have several things to destroy. The machinery, the lighting panels, the generator. And most of all these, the notebooks, the ledgers.
You mustn't do it now.
You needn't worry. Come with me in the laboratory.
No, I never want to go in there. I think I shall feel that room forever. Wall it up or tear it out.
Sophie,
Yes, sir.
go into the garden and ask one of the men to stay with my wife.
You want me to go out there?
Sophie, do as I ask.
I'll be quite all right.
Yes, sir, right away.
When these go up in flames, I will have made some amends for my sins.
Then this should be a private act, Victor. Do it quickly and bring me back. Sophie? Must have told myself. There is nothing to fear. Nothing. Victor!
destroyed. You would let me live knowing what my life would be like.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Here, drink this. Finish it. More? His mind is as keen and crafty as ever. I should have guessed what he had planned.
They're after him.
Did you see him?
Only if they ran time to police. Who is he? No one will tell me a thing.
Which path did he take?
The water. The lake.
Get some smelling salts.
I don't need them.
Not for you, for my wife.
Oh, okay, sir. Yeah.
Why didn't you call out?
I did, over and over. But the library door was bolted, and there was so much noise from the machinery.
You shall never hear that sound in this house again. I've destroyed the records, the apparatus. Well,
He ran into the lake.
he's dead?
Nothing could have survived my tears alive.
But did you see him fall or go beneath the water?
He was stumbling, mortally wounded. I'll have my men drive the lake for his body. You may rest assured, Victor, Elizabeth, the creature is no more. If you'll excuse me, I must return to my men.
The work at my hands is finished. I've destroyed what I've created. Full circle.
Come along, please.
You'd almost feel compassion for him.
I do feel it.
You too?
It's ended, Victor. Forever.
I wonder.
The guests, in order of appearance, Mongrain as Ernst, Natasha, Constance, and Sophie, Elizabeth, Leonora, Monges, Damian, Pilié, Henry, Frau, Frankenstein, Nardoni, Justine, Tasha, Figuera, and the creature, Mathew, Noonan. And the scientist, Victor Frankenstein, J.P. Nault. Take a bow. We'd like to thank our cast, who have put in many hours of dedication into making this production possible. And of course, we'd like to thank you, the audience, for being so wonderful with us tonight. Thank you.
would have never seen this, so... Okay, let's have a big round of applause.
I'd also like to thank the set designers. If you look at your programs, Ms. Shuns, Tanya Lazara, Tanya Rebard, Melissa Legario, Louise Boucher. I hope not I said, okay. And of course, our stage crew, lights and sound. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to do this. There are a lot of other teachers. Ms. Spencer is one, Ms. Caruso in makeup all day, Ms. Thioli for the sound, Ms. Nixon for the sound effects. The whole school. Thank you very much.
I don't see anyone around. Come on, quick.
Yeah,
Quick, Steve.
What'd you do?
Let's do a Blur Navy commercial. Go for it. Are you taping?
No.
That rebel weapon is on his face.
Shut up.
Hmm?
I mean, I think that's
Well, one minute, little late.
I don't know what you guys do.
Oh, you are taping.
Come on, take it off.
You would bring the quid off. Oh yeah, I'm dying. Really, I'm dying. Just let me enter here. Well, man, where you have it?
This.
What time is it? Does anybody have the time?
Yeah, 23 after 5.
So, Leonora, do you have a bra on?
None of your business.
You said you didn't.
Shut up, JP. Does it show? No, then be quiet. It doesn't show that I don't have a bra. Oh my god.
What?
I can sit down here. My
I know, a lot of
girls gonna fall off.
Who don't need bras don't wear them. Why should you anyway?
Oh my
Why
god.
should you?
How come I look like
Because
a
you look
clown?
gross without them, that's
If you
all.
don't need one,
You really look very nice. When you look at yourself.
I think she looks like a clown.
With the cigarette though, that really goes.
Just joking.
I am a turn of the century wife.
Hey, come here. Come on.
Just spit all over, right?
Yeah, but except for trying to skin in my ear.
You know, how long do we have between teams? No time. Well, like, I have to take off my jacket, roll up my sleeve.
You don't have to change sometimes between scenes.
I would just say roll up your sleeves and you'll bother with the jacket.
But I gotta take off the jacket. I gotta take it off to roll it out. You know what I mean?
My God, Matthew, how does it
That's
feel
what I mean,
to sit
like,
there like that?
Just
You know what it
technical
feels
things like this,
What?
you know. Then I'm gonna be
Feels like I have a
nervous.
piece of plastic slapped in my forehead.
Oh, God almighty.
Well,
I
if you
hate
tell me
that to
what
do
you're
that.
supposed to do, I'll help you out.
Okay, take a look at yourself now. I don't
Second
think
scene.
you better
The
get
First scene,
in
the second scene, I'm looking. Take off my jacket, roll up my sleeves.
And then you're going to do the
And
blocking,
the
right?
third scene, it's okay because I'm coming a little later.
It's a little hard to read.
It's when I started.
One side's bigger than the other.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. I think I-
It's a little uneven there, but
Yeah.
from 50 feet away, you won't see a thing, you know?
Perfect? Okay.
It's perfecto. It's exactly what I want. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, don't
I don't
move.
usually work with this stuff, so.
In any case, every comment you say is...
It's disgusting!
Oh, just shut up.
Hey, leave me
Is
these.
it on my neck?
You should make a hell of a Halloween
Should bring this back more. Can't see me.
Bring it back.
I'll bring it back.
Oh, I
Here
love
he
that.
is.
I love
Pause it,
that.
pause.
Plus, there's a, I didn't put on the shirt, but the pants and the things what I'm wearing at the prom.
Oh, really? Just be
That's the
careful.
green book.
with
Make
that.
sure you're on
Well,
your
I'll just take it to the cleaners, though.
You want?
Oh,
Give me a good
nice.
idea what I'm gonna
That's
do.
the green
to
you
you.
want?
Yeah.
You light
Give me a damn good idea what I'm gonna do. to you.
Listen, Creature, are you sure you didn't want it? Just one thing I'm worried about is the hand.
Yeah.
And
Green, I
we
can
took
help you
this
out.
fur off. You could wear these if you want to. We took the fur off because I'm worried about you getting stuff on the.
Well, you have to color them too then, because my face is going to be green, my hands pink. Peach doesn't make any
Don't
sense.
forget your bits and pieces, eh?
Yeah, but still, it
Yeah, you're
all
right,
rots
okay.
at the same time.
What
Just,
color are you putting on?
don't have the palm. Don't do the color to the look.
Yeah, I'm not done. I'm doing the outside of the hand.
As much as you.
And I'm following the bone pattern, see?
Okay.
Anybody have a quarter?
This is going to look real nice.
I have
want
any change.
Ready? We're ready for this hair?
You want me to do his hands again?
Yeah, do hands.
Matthew,
It's like trying to comb bubble.
this time the ring is going in my pocket. No sense of deja vu.
It looks great, Matt.
Oh God, I'll die.
It looks
We
good.
have to search the gym there.
Makeup 10.
Megan, you want to go put the clip?
Once GP is in the gym,
Once all
that's
the
fine.
makeup's
Right.
on.
Start, yeah.
See, what we do is put the green makeup, we put the scars, and then we put the accessories. Move your fat space for it. Use your, lighten this out a bit.
Okay.
Okay, what you do is you lighten it up, okay? Like right now, it's pretty thick, I want to lighten it up. Well, your lips are going to be black.
So,
but your,
Cindy, are you all right now? You got everything?
what color?
I'm fine.
Could you do me a favor? Could you just try on that house coat to see how long it is?
Front lip,
Yep.
and you do the...
Okay, and try with the slippers.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Put on the slippers because your feet are killing me.
Do not eat
Yeah, that would be all over. That would be great if you could do that.
If you get tired, tell me I'll bring a cushion back.
Does that thing take the color?
Yeah.
Maybe you can mix the color.
Yeah, you want it dark like this, don't you? Or is this okay?
Well, you, yeah.
Or is that too light?
You're gonna have to make sure you're getting it all on his palms, right?
I'm getting on his pawns. Oh.
I think it, actually, Miss, I think it dries, eh?
I
It
know,
does
but
dry.
when you're strangling the people, you're going to get the green on there.
Yeah, well, we'll just
Yours
wipe
too?
off.
You already got the black on. The black got on.
Yeah, but that was my fingernails. I mean,
So it's going to be even worse. For sure.
It's like Miss.
Say Chris.
Oh, that's like Chris. That's a
I would have crucified you.
turn your head.
Christopher? Christopher?
It's perfect.
Let me see.
I don't enjoy being called a homosexual. That's
Okay,
it.
but you know what? I got it. There's
You're a transsexual.
the hem is falling down to there. I've got to sew it.
Put your arms straight.
Okay? So put that over here, and I'm just gonna sew it when I finish with the surgical mask.
Put
How
your
many
butt,
sorts?
head.
Besides everything else?
So if Mrs. Matan's
You
stuff doesn't come in,
not
or
today?
it's inappropriate, we'll use this.
Okay.
Okay? Or you may want to use her nightgown and then
Maybe.
throw.
Yeah. Maybe I should try it on, eh? Okay.
Yeah, I would think it's
Turn it this way, to the side.
you should, you know,
No.
it's there. I have it hanging on that hanger right in front of you, standing right in front of you, right there. Put your hand up.
You want your
That's
neck
it.
completely as dark as this?
So put it in my makeup bag. We'll go get it every time we need it.
There it is.
Yeah. There.
stuff is cold, eh? Yeah. Feels good.
Refreshing. think they do it on purpose since it's going to be stage makeup. Well, most times they use stage makeup.
Most times the stage is really hot.
That's the point. That's where they make the makeup.
Are you rubbing off my black? You rubbed off my black, you idiot.
That's
Fish!
That's very, it would have been better if you had black nail polish, actually.
I know, but I mean, I can't buy all my props.
No, you could have let us
We
know.
should have put the green first and then the black.
Yeah. Who's going to touch up the black?
That's all right, because we could have paid you back, you know, and then we just have it for here as part of the thing.
I need more group.
How much money do we have as funds for the...
I haven't got a clue.
Should I get here?
Spend.
I just got this kit.
Yeah.
And then wipe the paws.
Lift your head.
So did you try on the nightgown? You're just going to put it over?
I
would say just put it over your bra and panties.
Yeah. I'm going to have I have a slip underneath.
You must be going crazy. Turn here, turn there.
How much time do you have to
Smile, Matt.
change?
Yeah, smile.
Do I have for changing?
Yeah.
Just stay normal.
I haven't had
I
time.
got some on your shirt.
I'm going to have, excuse me, what's your name?
I got some on your...
Tricia, do you think you could help me later on when we have, help get Elizabeth in her office? Because she has about 4 costume changes or 3 costumes.
Really quick.
Yeah, Leonora.
Oh.
And,
Seriously, she's got like thousands of buttons on her wedding
she's got
dress.
1,000 buttons. Okay,
1,000? Did you count them each and every one of them?
I don't know what you planned, and then you wanted to probably want to
kidding,
explain,
Cindy.
or...
No.
Sounds great.
Okay, yeah. Opinion, what do you think? Fly with future?
Who works on my makeup now? No one?
Yeah, well, I'll finish her. You went yours, so I started on hers. As soon as
Okay,
I
how's
finish
that?
her,
I'm doing your
I'll
first.
continue with you.
Do this.
You have stockings?
Miss, what's she doing?
Watch the mirror.
Cindy, where are your white
Leonora.
stockings?
She needs a eyeliner.
Green, could you lift
I
the
never knew
mirror?
you were suspicious.
You didn't get
you
any
the
a little touch up here.
Very good.
You didn't get your receipt on?
But that's unscientific.
Are you wearing your white ones? I only have black ones, if
You
not.
know how much I hate science with a passion?
Are you going to be showing?
Does it apply to
You can't wear your socks?
What? Let's shake.
I'm not gonna wear my
You can't wear this.
Leonora. Okay, I'm going to take them off there. Let me just do this.
You can wear black ones, no?
Yep. You can wear black.
Yes, I will.
Fingers together, please.
Here, come bring
Thank you, Matthew.
You saw this creature?
So what earrings did you
Made
make?
no sense.
We'll discuss that later.
How do you want to...
And you do believe me.
I was sad when I saw E.T.
Come on,
Don't forget,
man.
don't forget each person has to have a little red dot
Come on, man,
in
he's
the corner of their eye.
He's an alien pizza true.
Okay?
Ugly.
Thing is, no, you should have been happy when you saw him go.
That's
You went back home.
That was
I was sad.
Stage
That was
makeup.
perfect.
When you're small, you
As
believe,
for her eyeliner, I haven't got
in
a
the
character.
character. You don't, seriously.
Apple
Have
leaf.
you ever watched it?
I get into it, really into every movie that I watch. I'm like that even now.
What film released?
Open your eyes to what? Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, keep it open.
Yeah. Do you have dark brown?
Your blouse is sticking out in the back, eh? Mathew? Yeah. Coming out of the skirt.
I've never seen E.T. I've just seen...
Preview the
Beginning where
Well, I'm going to change the shirt.
You sure you don't want to wear that other belt?
That's where I don't want that's where I'm on.
No way.
Yeah, it's where I'm on.
But for the what?
Turn that.
Miss, I'll put my eyeliners too.
Close your eyes really well.
Do it thin so that you can make it
like
thicker.
five directions every 15 seconds.
I'm sorry, man.
Thicken it.
Hands, legs, move that, turn it, hold on, don't move.
Carefully, you're rubbing it onto this...
Yo, we're gonna watch it. One thing I'm thankful we're not using that wax that we used at open house. My God, I could have died.
I know. You're on. I'm like,
Gotta clean myself.
you're taping this?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I should put the animate on. You know, the kind of thing. Never saw it?
No.
The animator. You like set the camera and you see, you just leave it far and you see people going, you know?
What's the use?
It's fun. That's how you catch a flower by opening in the morning. Okay, Matthew, turn the other way completely.
Doesn't take too much.
He looks like a Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up. You know, like this. You're either gonna hate me by the end of this, or you're gonna forgive me. It's one or the other.
Besides, I had to take it off. It has like pizza.
What about your jacket, Matt?
What about it?
Mixing up like this?
Well, we're gonna remove whatever's on it.
This stuff is water. This stuff is water makeup. It comes off. Whatever you do not cry.
Don't cry, don't eat, don't drink.
What about
Can
the
you at
lips?
least
The lips
smoke?
gonna be black?
Of all things?
No, can't smoke.
Oh, great.
Can't smoke.
You know what you can do me?
Why don't you just go for a last cigarette before you got painted there, Matt? You know, good luck
There's in
smoking.
the bathroom a big flower bag.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's gonna have to hold it up there at least.
What happened to your bouquet?
You know,
Okay, Laura, that's it.
just a
You
line
have to sign it, because I like to fix that a little bit better.
for both my lips.
So you found your purse, right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, black, thin black line.
Sure.
Very, very thin.
Don't be afraid. It's not a knife.
Someone have a mixer as well.
Yeah.
Okay, should be everything.
Play thumbs.
Box O Thrills. Remember this stuff?
Lots of thrills. Oh my god.
No, it's Box O Thrills.
Excuse me for living.
Okay.
I'm wearing pink lipstick, right?
I don't think pink was invented in those days.
Cars weren't invented. This was invented.
Oh, shit.
I don't think toilets were invented.
Put some lip
Something
liner
with my
on
eye.
it.
Yeah. Where's the powder?
Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
wait, there
See,
is
close your
Wait,
eyes.
I'll go get my things myself because I know where my things are.
There's no, it's the hair.
And Leonora, you have to take that black thing that you have out of your head, you have to put something else in. Okay?
Turn your head that way.
He starts crying again. It's all your fault, okay? Imagine a crying creature.
No, I have to cry, sort of.
Okay.
All you gotta do,
You
man.
have no tear ducts, I hope.
Well,
You have no tear ducts, I hope. Tear ducts.
What's a tear duct?
Tear gland.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Tear gland.
You know the gland? You know the gland that secretes the tears?
Is it better than before?
Okay.
I'm gonna do these.
seriously?
No, but
Good.
most actors, if they want to cry, they just say, they just think it's something really sad in their own lives.
That's stupid, I tried.
You cry, you cry.
It works for me.
Mommy?
Seriously?
Is that the bag
Oh,
where we get?
we're gonna wipe it up.
Leonora, what happened to the black net?
We should have gone green before the black one.
Oh, it's coming along nicely.
Yeah, miss, we should have done the green before the black, because the black is fading out.
Well, put some more.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Don't worry, man.
I said, oh, well, we'll put some...
Shouldn't put any in his costume. Be careful, eh?
But we'll wipe that. This is water makeup.
Oh, he's looking good.
Yeah, I can't. This doesn't hold the makeup that well.
This stuff
That's
dries.
okay, don't
yeah,
touch it anymore.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Did anybody do JP's hair?
Turn your head that way.
He's not going up there with that stack of hair on top of his head.
I know, he wants
Yeah,
to.
it should be.
Well,
He should come and see it as soon as
Yeah.
possible. Maybe he should wet it and then we'll gel it.
Okay, for the girl,
And Damian too.
Okay,
for
start
everybody, Angela, there should be 2 red dots on the sides of the eyes.
Okay, you want black or what? Oh, yeah.
2 red dots?
Yeah. One goes in here and one goes out here. So it can enlarge the eye.
Now I'll catch everybody. Backstage scene.
Yeah, you just fill that picture with water or something?
Am I gonna wear eyeshadow?
Backstage.
Hey, I'll do
Am I gonna wear more eyeshadow?
And we're gonna dunk it and get fresh water in the intermission.
Pink eyeshadow?
And purple.
Whatever.
You're in charge of that.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's really
Here it
doesn't show though.
You know, it's amazing what you have to do with this makeup.
The dots don't show here,
But
but
I
they
try
show
to
on the
face.
face. No, they don't show on the face. I've seen.
Yeah, you know, there's an advantage, Matt, you're toe-headed.
Yeah, but this is not a sort of...
Matt, there's a big advantage, you're toe-headed, you don't have a round head, it's more like, not square, but,
It gives you...
you know, toe-headed. So that helps a lot.
Especially with you. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, put your head up. Okay, I'm gonna put down. It's tiring.
Okay, look that way.
Wiping them off the phone. Because when he strangles people, they're gonna look green in the
Turn,
neck.
look that way, the same.
This stuff dries, I don't know if it's gonna come out on the person's neck by opening. By the time the curtain goes
They're not
down,
gonna notice if you. They won't notice the
This stuff is water.
Yeah, but it's gonna dry. Unless the other person is sweating, it's not gonna dissolve. I remember my primary physics class.
Yeah, we were on that.
Believe me, this stuff washed off.
Now, short little.
I don't short wash.
So I gotta do this. That's what I mean, short.
Nice.
Can you see it?
Teeth look really.
Let's
No,
see.
not really.
Put your inside of your mouth. All the way, out. Don't breathe on the lens.
Can't see me.
Not with your finger
Oh,
open.
frigo digo.
You're gonna get a filter.
Looks bad or good?
What?
Action. Okay, almost there.
If it looks time, does it look good in a bad way or bad in a
Tell
good
me
way?
what time. I don't know my watches. I give my watch to someone good on it and they take it.
Actually, mine is battery right now.
Okay, I need to.
For real.
Yeah, I really think you need some coke.
No, it's okay. You don't talk too much, really.
Yeah.
But what if I refuse?
If you refuse, well, so be it.
Looks so.
Just give it my opinion. Not imposing it on anybody.
Here, I'll make some.
Where is, you gonna have a nice shower tonight? I know where JP.
Everybody's gonna have a nice shower tonight. You make sure it's dry.
Gonna have a nice shower
I just
tonight?
look up. I just know it. I just know it. You're gonna.
Hey, up.
You're gonna stay. He's gonna stain my hands. I just know he's gonna stain mine and hers. Show me your hands. Oh, yeah, stain on this side.
Miss, you know how easily you can just have somebody's
Hey, we didn't even practice the bowing and coming on and off. Washable things, soap and water.
But skin maybe, yes, maybe not.
I used to have, but I mean, the thing is, even while they're asking, somebody's gonna get cut open or something.
White,
Have it, wait a whole lot.
Wipe your hair. And then
Where's
just...
the white coat?
Okay.
Get on the neck.
Sure it is. Get it.
JP,
Yeah?
here is your surgical.
That's what I want.
This is recording.
Here is your surgical.
So what from here to here?
I would like for you to bring your lab coat here, and we're going to try on the surgical mask. I'm going to show you how to put it on, okay?
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, the creature knows the language.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
thinking.
back
I'm thinking it off after the.
You want a cotton ball?
Okay. What time is it? Don't remember the time.
It's 10 to 6.
I'm going upstairs.
Okay, you're dry.
Is upstairs open?
Sure.
Is upstairs open?
I don't know. I think.
Yeah, the other person's up there.
Is that your own? Yeah. No, you don't need that one. You've seen that off stage.
Yeah, it looks better. Yeah, I put it in there. You know what? It looks uneven on front because it's because of the latex.
Stitch on top.
Oh, fucking amazing.
Beautiful. And then the neck is not that great.
Oh,
I love it.
let me see the neck.
What? What, man?
Yeah, you should make it darker the neck. Because on stage you don't really show like. Whatever you do, don't swallow.
And you need
Why,
some
what?
red.
That's disgusting.
You need some red on there.
Oh, sick! It looks like your skin's gonna crack open any minute.
Good.
Yeah.
Darker on the neck?
No, the neck is fine.
Yeah. So what's the last?
Hey, yeah, aren't you gonna put anything?
Did you find the lab coat?
No.
Yeah. I suggest you go run around and look for it.
It looks like
JP
it's
is
open.
very serious. Not in the
Yeah, how about on the
boys' washer?
Yeah.
But not too long.
No.
I mean, 1.5 minutes.
Someone pass me, there's full of thread there, right on the table there. Some of that, and the scissors. Thank you.
Am I stabbing you?
Is the makeup room going to be open during the
Yes.
play?
Either that or smack you over the head.
Yeah.
Are we gonna take the makeup to the backstage then?
Sure, man.
Stay here.
And
It's just when you get on stage. Don't be serious now.
Gypsy,
You're
never
staring.
wore
It's like,
nail
things that
polish
make
on
it
her
sound.
toes. Nail polish, I don't think was even invented.
Well, it's crushed berries, that's it.
Or you were crushing berries,
While
or
we were
making wine?
While we were sitting there, I think it was whatever.
Making
Yeah.
wine.
This
Space is
was
kind
my
of
mom's
meeting.
My mom's is
No.
your mother, right?
Because look,
If he
right
starts
now we're on neon white. Neon white. Wait till you get on stage and look at it. You're gonna be taping. Don't zoom in.
I'm gonna, at 3 points, I'm gonna be,
Yeah. When you say, forgive the creature.
yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Forgive the creature with Frau Frankenstein.
I'm gonna go like this.
Yeah.
For no. Why? Because if they see this,
Yeah.
it's gonna look foolish.
Yeah.
Why? Uh-oh.
You are the baby.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's official. This is your occupation.
Yeah, do that.
Go to college.
Look at my elbow.
Okay, roll up your sleeve. Okay? We'll do your whole arm. Do his arms.
Yes, sir. But up to my elbow. Where's my elbow?
Get probably in charges.
Can you afford her?
No, she's a family friend. I'm so
God,
sorry.
you're worse than those actors.
Oh,
God,
that's
you
how
guys
true.
like to
Did you
go
practice
I've heard you
bringing up the veil and looking at it?
Yeah, this.
Okay, you should practice it with your hands the way they are.
Yeah, don't dirty the veil, huh?
Can't wait till
You know, you get, be very, very careful with the veil. All right?
It's
the next class.
The movie is on.
Miss?
Yeah.
Matthew, you want to be very careful when you pull up this veil.
If the thing dries and if the thing is touching isn't wet, the paint isn't gonna smudge.
Okay.
God knows.
God only. But just no, but what I mean is like practice, could you practice of picking it up and holding it to yourself, that big long veil?
I think
You did practice with the big long veil, eh?
Okay, stop moving.
I practiced. Oh, I did
You do
yesterday.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go on the other side.
You're getting there.
It was a hard mission.
Great.
Okay. Make the colors.
Could I have some of those green hats, Tasha? Go ahead. About as far high up as mine.
Very different? What? You think? You look like this, like,
Are you cold or something?
yes. What? No, I saw some bad movies.
Okay, Cindy and Cindy, you're here, and Leonora. How do you want to do this when you change your shirt?
If that cloth will come off the tube for the actual plate.
Yeah, I got 2 more tapes. This is 4 hours. One of my tapes cut. Yeah. Got cut.
Oh, get nervous. You'll remember everything. Come on, get nervous. I was amazed. The first scene. I was dying. I'm like,
There was one
it's not
time that I
stage
forgot
saying
my
what
lining, and I'm there dead silent.
Concentrate on your lines.
Back
You never
up.
forget them.
You do. And
Think
your
of
brain.
what's happening. You
Your
made up
brain.
some lines and they were good.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Well, even Damian did.
Well, he's doing. I switched around lines. I was freaking out.
You know what happened? The first,
You're filming it, Damian?
guys, the first act, listen to this. When Sophie stops talking and I'm supposed to say,
Give me it
what
for a
are
sec.
you
Give
doing?
me it. Give me it for a sec.
I paused like for an hour. I didn't know. I'm just sitting there.
Glenn.
In the beginning of the play,
Check this.
Sophie says, no, not him. And I'm supposed to say,
that.
Victor, what are you doing? I'm like this. I'm like, I'm trying to
It was
know what's
only a
happening.
split
Oh my God! Victor, what are you doing? Victor, what are you doing?
Sorry, I thought we were loud. It's our wedding
I called
night.
Damian Ernst, and then I called him Ernst.
I know.
You know Ernst, of course.
No way.
Yes. You know Ernst.
Hey, I didn't notice that. I did not notice that.
I know, Matthew came in, he goes, God help you, Victor. And I'm like, ha ha ha.
She's like, everybody knows you know Ernst. He said, no, I'm
Yeah,
and then
and that's the natural reaction.
People get restless, like.
Yeah. Because why do they laugh?
Yeah.
God help you,
The
Victor.
laugh
Everyone's
would
there,
be-
I'm like, why are they laughing? It's not funny.
To release tension, maybe?
people do that. God help you, because that's bad, you know.
Yeah. God help you, Victor.
Shit, man.
Shit, mad.
The next, hey,
It's true,
Cindy,
man.
another
Like,
mother
that's what I
scene's
think.
coming up.
If I saw that, I realized I shit, man. So you're in
We're
me.
both in Hollywood, man. We can't work on it.
Yeah, Cindy, I have we need more chopsticks. It's like cardboard. Your mouth is cardboard.
Multi-billion.
You, maybe a little bit more lipstick on your lips.
Yeah, you can.
Not, take the dark one, not the light
But
one.
I have the fun is coming from unpreoccupied. That's the difficult thing.
Is that what we have to say? Cindy, coming up next is our total victory scene, Cindy.
Oh,
I'm done now. It's Total victory, Mommy.
I'll keep coming here around here.
Matthew.
Coffee people here.
Give me some coffee.
I only got 5 cups.
Yeah, give it to Natasha's freezing. Make sure she
I
gets
will
it.
too.
Yeah, and share, all right?
Somebody take the tray.
Natasha, you can take my jacket.
So they take it up without taking the tray.
I need
Natasha.
cream and milk.
My jacket?
I'm not splitting my coffee with who?
Yeah,
I don't want
Kelly's
any,
around.
so-
Get the
Matthew,
Came in Leonora's room.
Renee said hi and she's doing a stupendous job.
Kelly, she doesn't like me giving my jacket back from delivering me the
No
paper.
way. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I think she's being ridiculous. I think she's being ridiculous.
Oh my God,
Every time you saw flash from where I was, that's David.
Oh, I'm there, my God, because when I went on, like, 3 flashes went off. Baby, did you find your bow tie or something on stage?
It's on stage. I forgot about it. Thank you.
I'm going to your house. We can edit the tape together, eh?
Okay.
There we go.
It wasn't bad.
Are you editing it tomorrow? Because I have
Bad
to
at
do
all.
Ms. Duquette's 400-word essay, which I haven't done yet.
Me too. Same thing.
The end of the first.
Whatever you do, Miss, don't give me a C when I use C, please.
Sorry, I did.
Okay,
It was natural.
Yeah! You
That's
serious?
for you. Okay, if I
Yes,
have
for me.
Miss, if I have it enough,
Look at this lovely face. Look at this lovely face. This lovely, honest, nice face.
Damian, Miss Duquette's gonna give me a name. I had it in on Monday, okay?
Yeah, let's get on camera.
Where's the sugar?
No, I'll call you. Make her arrangement.
JP, over there. My love, come here. Tasha, did you put on? Oh my God. That looks a lot better. All right.
Where's my water come in handy?
Hey.
The water come in handy? Where I put it?
Yes, the water came in handy.
I tell you, I think I almost emptied my glass.
With you and Ian, though, I didn't provide
I could have done that. You made it.
That's
Seriously, I was